Welcome to the Extra Mile. Step up your patient journey webinar with Sundog.
My name is Jennifer LaFour, and I am Director of Account Management at Sundog. I will be moderating the webinar. There are two Sundoggers with me today, Jonathan Rademacher and Amber Vogel, here to share Patient Compass with you. Their goals today are to help you understand the complete patient journey for a specific disease or treatment path, demonstrate how customized microbursts of content improve motivation, education, and accountability, show you how real-time insights and analytics are gathered and used at every step of the process, explore how social communities help patients stay connected and engaged, and explain the framework for pulling data securely from EMR systems like Centricity and Epic. Before I hand it over to JR and Amber, there are just a couple of housekeeping items. We are recording this webinar today, so all attendees are in listen-only mode. Please use the questions section on the GoToWebinar panel to submit questions during the course of the webinar. I will be monitoring those questions and queuing them up for during the presentation or after the presentation. With that, JR and Amber, let's get started.
Thank you. So today we're going to tell you a little bit about the Sundog Patient Compass solution. The Patient Compass has 9 key components that we'll review today. The goal of the solution is to drive deep patient engagement. Most patients do not stay engaged with their health just by reviewing a plan and periodically meeting with a physician. True engagement is an ongoing and active process. It happens between visits in our everyday life. It requires accountability, motivation, education, and peer support to be successful. In our demo, we'll show you how the Patient Compass is an innovative approach that drives engagement through a disease or wellness care path, with the ultimate goal of increasing patient quality of life and decreasing care costs. The spectrum today has a distinct divide in it. On the left, we've got the patient view, where they have multiple options for device management, to passively track their activity. And there's content that's broadly available, but very little of it is focused on the specific patient, and it's not terribly actionable. On the right side, we've got the traditional care paths. And this is when a care team is engaged and the physician's engaged, the patient is highly activated. However, these are in short bursts, and because of short bursts, it's not effective, and it's also very expensive to make those bursts any longer. We believe this approach is broken. Our vision for the future of patient engagement is an integrated care journey that integrates seamlessly into the patient's normal lives. Maintaining health needs to be part of a daily routine. It can't be an additional effort. Today we'll show you how we integrate wearable devices, actionable content, and a support team to guide the patient through their journey. You have maybe seen similar solutions in the marketplace. We believe that our offering is unique, and we're going to detail that today. Our solution, again, is 100% focused on deep patient engagement. It's not traditional care coordination where you meet with a physician for 5 or 15 minutes every few months. It's not a tracking-focused CRM system that passively logs activity. Instead, we've taken what we've learned from the consumer engagement side and applied it to healthcare practices. Our goal is to seamlessly integrate the care journeys into the patient's lives. The diagram that you're seeing right now shows the 9 key components of the solution. The solution is a flexible framework that can be applied to many different care paths, from bariatrics to cancer to diabetes to hip and joint replacement. It also, within each of those care paths, it's focused on specific psychographic segmentation model, where we lay out condition-specific journeys based on each patient's psychographic profile. We then create segment-specific content for each step of the journey. The patient can access the platform via their mobile phone, and using wearable and integrated devices like a Fitbit or a scale, we can actively monitor the patient's vitals and progress. A key component to a successful journey is a support community. The dynamics of the community will vary by condition and by segment, but having a peer community and a medical support team is critical to getting the patient to a life-changing new normal. Through a combination of motivational messages, education, and accountability, we can increase compliance rates. Ultimately, all the interactions are measured and continually improved upon through an insights model. A little bit lower on the diagram, you'll see the technology that supports this. From a technical perspective, the solution is modeled on consumer engagement. Consumers have demands. They want the data to be secure, a robust experience that's simple, easy to use, and always available. We're talking about a state-of-the-art, secure healthcare grade offering that's highly available and deeply integrated into the devices that mirror the journey. Our use case today is bariatrics. We're going to profile bariatrics and how it relates into how it can be leveraged through the patient compass solution. Obesity is an epidemic with over 20% of total healthcare costs being linked directly to morbid obesity and conditions stemming directly from obesity like diabetes and heart conditions. It's growing with the population with a 10% increase year over year for the past 10 years, with only 1% of medically eligible patients receiving surgery. Of the patients that do make it through the process, 40% return to their old habits. Our patient compass is different from traditional approaches because we're giving our patients the engagement, medical support, and psychological support they need to successfully complete the journey. As mentioned in the overall solution components, we start with condition-specific journeys based on the psychographic patient segmentation. For this, we draw from the Sundog patient engagement segments. From our research, we have created a proprietary patient segmentation model. The 5 patient segments listed encompass how the majority of the population engages with healthcare systems. Starting with trust the expert, this profile believes the physicians are providing expert advice, and they're going to follow that advice. Informed and determined trust the physician, but they want to validate with their own research and with their own experiences. Follow the family involves their family in their medical decisions, and it's a group decision. Wants option, sees obstacles, feels that they are stuck and cannot see a path to wellness. Health conscious takes health into their own hands, not relying on the healthcare system immediately. Within this, as we profile bariatrics, we see all of the segments being represented, but the current face of bariatrics is not accurate. The success stories of bariatrics includes a patient taking on a 6-month journey to prepare for surgery. This journey includes methodically logging activity, consumption, and weight. As a result, the success stories are informed and determined. They push through the journey and represent a story of success. Unfortunately, this represents only 1% of the population. The true face of obesity in the majority of the population falls into the wants, option, sees obstacle segment. This group is dealing with a medical and psychological condition. They feel the paperwork, meetings, and rigor are overwhelming. To connect with this audience, we need a different approach. Now we're going to walk through a demo of the solution, starting with our patient who falls under the profile of wants, option, sees obstacles, Max. We'll show you how we first engage with Max during his treatment search, how we stay engaged throughout his journey, through surgery, follow-up, and as he progresses to the path of a new normal. I'm going to turn over to Amber to walk you through the demo.
All right, thanks, JR. So today I'm going to walk you through a story about a bariatric surgery patient. As I tell the story, I will highlight the technology and tools that we utilize to provide a successful patient experience. Before we get started, let's take a look at some of the challenges patients experience currently throughout the bariatric surgery process. Today, bariatric patients are expected to be self-motivated and keep track of their own tasks. Throughout the journey, there's a very little engagement with others going through the same process. The care team working with patients is very large, cross-discipline, and often do not share systems and has limited conversations about the patient. Prior to surgery, patients are looking at over 25 doctor's appointments within a 6-month period. These appointments are the only mechanism for patients to receive information. From a care team's perspective, nurses are tracking patient information manually via paper and spreadsheets. So to tell the most complete story today, we'll start at the very beginning of the patient's journey and how they came to consider weight loss surgery. Our patient today is Max Gordon. Max has been overweight most of his life. Like many people, he doesn't know when he lost control of his weight, but it's become the controlling factor in his life. He's a frequent user of the healthcare system and is exhausted by all the problems he faces. Max's opinion of the healthcare system include things like appointments take too much time, they ask the same questions, and no one seems to understand what he's going through. All they ever seem to say is, eat healthy, get active. Max knows that it's not that easy. Food is an addiction. Max is faced with negative feelings every day about the way he looks. Those negative feelings cause him to want to stay home more, eat more unhealthy foods, and only add to his existing weight issues. At a recent doctor's appointment, Max was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. For Max, it was a wake-up call. If he doesn't face his weight issues, if he doesn't do something to get healthy, there could be very serious consequences. Since being diagnosed with diabetes, Max starts researching online to see what his options are for weight loss. Doing this at home makes Max feel in control, and he doesn't have to go to the doctor again or fill out the same paperwork. Max sees an advertisement for a weight loss surgery success story from a patient's point of view. This ad catches Max's attention because he wants to see solutions that have worked for others that are just like him. Max clicks on the ad to see what it's about and immediately connects with the patient in the story. Lisa is like Max. She has had a lot of struggles, but she has overcome them through weight loss surgery. Max is interested in learning more about the process Lisa went through and finds an online seminar for patients considering bariatric surgery. Max does not want to go to another doctor's appointment. The fact that this seminar is online makes him feel more comfortable, so he decides to sign up and check it out. Max easily watches the seminar from his home. What he learns about the surgery process does not seem easy. However, during the seminar, there's a live chat that allows him to get some of his lingering questions answered. He also learns about the clinic's mobile app that they provide to patients to assist them through the process. This mobile app can be branded for a healthcare system, insurance providers, or corporate providers. It is a customized solution that can be tailored to different offerings. This clinic's app contains information about the bariatrics program and appears to be a tool that Max can use as he goes through the process. Max decides he has enough information to move forward, and he is feeling good about all of the support this clinic has to offer. Although dreading another doctor's appointment, he schedules his first appointment. Now we're going to take a look at the clinic's mobile app and Max's experience with it through the rest of his journey.
So as Amber brings this up, we're going to be looking at Max and how he has downloaded the mobile app. This will be his primary interface on his phone and his companion through his journey. It'll be his access point to track his progress and engage directly with his care team.
Max isn't looking forward to his first doctor's appointment, and he's not confident that surgery is even going to work. So he decides to open the clinic's app and see if he can learn more about it. When he opens the app, Max receives an appointment reminder. But instead of just the date and time, the reminder also contains an inspirational message that helps him feel like he's making the right decision. For Max, it's enough to make him want to keep going, at least long enough to take this appointment. The more he explores the app, the more Max is starting to like it. He already feels connected to the process, and the clinic is holding him accountable for the next steps. Speaking about what's next, Max can see there are a lot of tasks to complete throughout the journey. He has a long way to go, but he finds it helpful to see where he's at, where he's been, and what's ahead of him. It's also comforting to know that his care team will be there whenever he needs them. During Max's first appointment, a nurse sits down with him to show him more about the clinic's app. She agrees with Max that this is going to be a difficult process. However, she believes he can do it. She shows Max how to track his progress and earn badges for every step he takes. It's not much, but for Max, it finally feels like someone wants him to succeed, and that's a lot more than he's felt from a doctor or a clinic in a long time. After his appointment, Max learns that he must record his weight throughout the process. The good news? It's simple. The app has a feature that connects to a Bluetooth scale and sends his weight to his care team automatically. This allows Max to connect with his care team without having to make another appointment. The app also tracks his goal weight and sends him motivational messages for weighing in. Meanwhile, Max also has to keep a close eye on what he's eating. The app helps him keep track and sends him rewards when he achieves something. Along the way, Max starts to feel overwhelmed with all the information and requirements for the process. He's still not sure how he's going to do this on his own. He notices in the app there are tips that give him ideas on how to stay motivated, be creative with food, and start living a healthier lifestyle. This gives him a little more hope, and he continues to move forward. At this point, Max has made it through all the steps and is at a halfway point. He is rewarded with a Fitbit from his nurse. Max is excited to try out his new toy, and it gives him some well-deserved bragging rights. He's really accomplished something and earned a reward for his hard work. Max keeps completing his program requirements and steadily collecting badges along the way. Earning badges is purposely easier in the beginning. As time progresses, though, the badges become more difficult to achieve, and as a result, are much more rewarding when they are earned. As Max's main point of contact, the care team also likes seeing him earn badges. They're a symbol of his progress and a quick way to track his status at a glance. By now, Max has met with many members of his care team, his nutritionists, psychologists, nurses, and much more. But none of these people really know what he's going through and how difficult this is. He's not just trying to lose weight, he's trying to overcome an addiction to food, so there are moments during this process where Max feels like he wants to quit. Thankfully, the clinic introduces him to their online community of weight loss surgery patients. The community is moderated, helps him connect with people just like him, and allows for more interaction with clinic resources. From pre-surgery to post-surgery, Max can talk to patients who are in the same situation and who understand exactly what he's feeling. Being able to connect with them makes a big difference to Max. They hold him accountable and motivate him. And Max can share his own experiences to help others too. Upon reaching his surgery milestone, Max knows the journey's not over. A lot of changes are just beginning. Following surgery, Max feels like a stranger in his own body and in his own home. He doesn't feel like he can interact with his family or friends the same way, and he's never quite sure how to feel about the changes happening to him. So Max relies heavily on the community at this time. He feels comforted and reassured by several people in the post-surgery group who are feeling the same way. So in summary, we've seen throughout Max's journey, he was presented with access to a variety of resources. He was motivated along the way. His journey was customized to him as a patient. He was held accountable for his progress, and he has the opportunity to stay engaged with these tools long term. The patient interface we saw as we walked through Max's journey can and will look different depending on the patient and/or disease state. The journey can be customized to meet the specific milestones and touch points required for a successful outcome. Now let's take a look at the care team's point of view during Max's journey.
So again, we've looked at how Max interacts with his mobile app and that constant companion through his journey. The other lens is the other side of the equation, which is the care team. And we're going to look at now how Nurse Judy interacts with her interface, which typically will be desktop or tablet-based, and how she interacts with Max both on a micro level and on a macro level.
So let's meet Nurse Judy. As we've seen in Max's mobile app, Nurse Judy is a member of his care team. Nurse Judy wants to be able to engage with all weight loss surgery patients, but notices her time mostly spent with a few high-needs patients and all the rest are left to their own devices. The nurse feels like patients as people sometimes take a back seat to the documentation and manual tracking required to get them through the process. Every week, Nurse Judy receives a report of qualified potential patients so she can follow up with them for consultations. They are prioritized based on their likelihood to qualify and their stage in the process. Max is one of the potential patients in the report. Nurse Judy clicks into Max's profile before reaching out to him. As soon as she does, she can already see information about his engagement with the weight loss clinic. This includes Max's responses to the seminar sign-up sheet. As you can see, his responses help determine what segment he's in, and that drives both the nurse's interaction with Max as well as the type and frequency of the content he'll receive going forward. Max's profile also includes the ability to electronically track appointments, tasks, and interactions with him. The nurse will note her first call with Max and set up his first physician appointment right on his record. What's the best part about capturing this so early in his journey? When he becomes a patient, all of this information stays with his record, and that gives his care team visibility into his entire history, which is not currently available in today's model. Speaking of visibility, any engagement campaigns associated with Max will also be displayed on his record. Using campaigns like this, the health system can track interactions and send patients like Max the right content at the right time during his journey. While the nurse isn't responsible for managing these campaigns, it does give her a glimpse into his overall engagement. She can immediately see that he attended a webinar and downloaded the mobile app. She also sees that Max is part of an Overcoming Obstacles campaign designed to engage and educate patients like him who prefer to have a lot of choices. Right now, Max's record is streamlined to only display what's relevant since he's still a potential patient. This increases efficiency, making sure that everyone has need-to-know information at a glance. After Max's first appointment, a patient record is created for him within Patient Compass. From here on out, his profile will provide insights about where Max is at along his weight loss journey. In addition to the information on Max's previous record, Nurse Judy has quick access to other details relevant to his pre-surgery program, such as his assigned care team, type of surgery, and where he started, for example, the date, weight, and his BMI. Nurse Judy can also see information being integrated from the EMR, such as insurance information and patient appointment history. Max's profile also captures activity snapshots coming from his mobile app. That means Nurse Judy, or any of the other care team members, can see his current weight, any activity he performs, and his dietary journal at a quick glance. Of course, this is one of the many relevant data points in understanding where Max is at, but it highlights one of the benefits of device integration. This information is automatically updated from Max's mobile device. From Nurse Judy's standpoint, that means she has up-to-date information on Max in real time, whether she is preparing for a regularly scheduled office visit, doing a quick review of patient status, or being alerted to an issue that requires intervention. She has Max's activities and data right at her fingertips. So it's easy to see Max's progress in real time, but what happens with any bumps in the road? In the history section, we can see 2 early warning notifications where Max has not logged any activity. Nurse Judy has customized her settings so she receives an alert if one of her patients forgets to log activity. At this point, it's just a warning and she's not required to intervene because, who knows, maybe Max just lost his phone. However, if no activity continues, Nurse Judy will receive critical notifications asking her to call and follow up with Max. Here we can see all of these notifications logged and acknowledged. This also allows Nurse Judy to effectively manage her workload. She can be passively engaged by still being notified, which allows her to remain focused on critical patients that require attention that day. In today's model, the patient is not regularly engaged with relevant content or held accountable in meaningful ways that establish that foundation for lifestyle change. With our model, the nurse can quickly intervene, identify Max's challenges, assist him in overcoming them, and get him back on track. This is exactly what Max needs to succeed. While the nurse doesn't interact with Max as often after surgery as she did before, she still will have access to all of Max's activity. She can stay up to date on Max's appointments and checkups, and above all, she can stay connected with him. No longer will the care team be in the dark about his progress and the way he's transforming his life. Finally, Nurse Judy will have visibility into all of the accomplishments Max has earned on his journey. This includes his weight milestones, exercise victories, and more. Accomplishments mean more when they are recognized by others. And having this information right on Max's profile allows Nurse Judy to personally reach out and congratulate him on these milestones and support his continued success. So let's summarize the value that Patient Compass provided to Max's care team. By using device integration, we can automatically collect data that is extremely valuable in assisting the care team in making care decisions. By having insight into what the patient is doing throughout their journey, we can engage them at the right time and customize the experience based on the patient's needs. Care teams can spend more time with patients and less time in the system trying to find information. I'm going to turn it over to JR, and we're going to talk a little bit about the insights that we gained throughout Max's journey.
Thanks, Amber. Through the journey of both Max and Nurse Judy, Amber's shown you 2 of 3 perspectives of the Patient Compass solution. There are 11 key stages of the journey and 9 key features of the compass. At each stage, we focused on high engagement with Max, while we automated several of the tracking tasks and engaged Nurse Judy at just the right time to maximize her efficiency. The 2 perspectives, the first being the patient engagement with Max and the second being the clinician engagement view with Nurse Judy, only shows part of the story. The third view is a macro view that allows the care team to access all the information collected from all the patients in real time. This allows the care team to review and modify care journeys by segment. It allows the care team to test different approaches, to try different avenues. We can tell what's working and what's not working in our approach. These valuable insights allow us to tailor content, to tailor care with minimum cost. To recap, today we've shown you how the 9 key components of the Sundog Patient Compass solution work together to engage patients and their care team, move the patients to activate, monitor compliance through solution automation, and ultimately transform lives. It's a flexible solution that understands both the care journey and the patient. Thank you for your time.
Thanks, JR and Amber. Just want to remind everybody that if you do have questions, to use the questions section of the GoToWebinar panel, and I will get those queued up for JR and Amber. Did have a question come in regarding the alerts for the engagements. Can you explain a little bit how those can be customized and whether the length of time or the message is included in that customization?
Yep. The platform that the alerts are created from allows us to integrate with multiple types of devices and multiple modalities. So really we need to look at how best to engage the audience, and then we can select from what alerts we can put together. But time delays, race conditions, or escalations can all be included. So the options range from push notifications on a mobile device to emails, to text messages, to any other path. We can do screen pops, etc. So we've got a number of different options. Again, the goal to drive deep engagement is to understand the audience and to alert them in the way that they want to be alerted. So we've got a number of options, but it really depends on who we're engaging and on what journey.
Great. You talked about Max getting a Fitbit, and we talked about having mobile phones with apps. What kind of devices are we looking at for those that we have on our roadmap that we've integrated with, or that may be coming in the future?
Yep. So I'll start off with the mobile component, which is really a key component. When we look at this care condition and others, there's different access to computers based on income levels, but we see huge penetration of access to mobile. 90+% of people have access to a mobile device and can install these applications. So that's our primary modality for that component. As far as the other device integration, there are a number of options. If you look at Fitbit, if you look at a number of the wearable devices, most all of those do have a central repository for logging data, and that allows us to integrate. So in the scenario that we talked about today with Fitbit, we actually are linking the Fitbit console directly to the patient engagement solution. So the Patient Compass talks directly to Fitbit. The patients never know that there's an integration. They just know that they're integrating that they're accessing their mobile app, they've got access to a community, and that the Fitbit's talking to their mobile app. All the integration happens behind the scenes. Super.
Last question. So in one of your slides, you talked about how this isn't patient CRM. Can you talk a little bit more about that and how it is different from other products?
Yep, great question. And so we really believe the differentiation is in the 9 key components we talked about. The patient CRM or traditional CRM really focuses on tracking and not engaging. We feel that this is an engagement platform that allows you to engage on multiple levels. So one is the tracking from the devices that you're wearing. Another one is connecting with your support community and also with your medical support community. So looking at just the tracking activities is really one small dimension, and that's why we say this isn't traditional patient CRM. Patient CRM is a component of this, but all the other pieces need to come together to truly drive engagement.
Great. I don't have any more questions queued up here, so I want to thank everyone for attending today. If you would like some more information about Patient Compass, you can visit our website, sundoginteractive.com/patientcompass, and there you will find several documents with overviews, quick facts, a Q&A document, and then also links to our white papers and our healthcare blogs. So a wealth of information available on that page. And please feel free to reach out to us if you have any additional questions. I want to thank you all again for attending, and have a great rest of your day.
Thanks for watching. For upcoming events, visit sundoginteractive.com/webinar.